This is From the Flight Line. I'm Joel Gilly, and we are joined by a very special guest today. And I know nothing about you, so let's start with your name.
Oh, hi. I am Senior Airman Candace Brown. I've been at Seymour Johnson for a little over a year now, about like a year and a half. But I've lived in the North Carolina area for the past 5 years.
Oh, great. So what do you do at Seymour Johnson?
I am a dental assistant, but I do more than just assisting. They require us to be able to run the front desk, the instrument processing, even like a little bit of lab work.
Oh, wow.
So very well-rounded.
Yeah, and that's one of those jobs that, like, you know, we're really bad about seeing the jets. We're like, oh, that's cool, that's the Air Force. But there's so much behind the scenes that goes on, like dental work. You know, you don't think about that kind of stuff that goes on base as well. How did you get involved in that? Is that something you came in wanting to do or something that you were given?
So the Air Force chose dental for me. I went in open general with hopes of doing something medical. Dental was actually my number 2. I was a little bummed out at first, but the more I started going to school and getting to actually know my job more, the more I was like, this is actually pretty neat. The only side of medical that I've ever known is more of like the hospital side. So it's actually very interesting that I get to see just a whole nother side of medical. But honestly, dental was a blessing in disguise. The people that I work with are very patient and they're willing to teach.
Patient,
I like, and I like everyone that I work with, so I can't complain.
That's great. And plus it's great job transferable skills outside of the Air Force as well. So what brought you to the Air Force?
So my husband and I, we lived in Jacksonville for a couple years, and I decided that I wanted to do something more. I wanted to do just more than what I was doing at the time, which I was waitressing, which was a great job, but I wanted to just, as I said, just do more.
Yeah.
So I looked at a couple of different options, and I kept going back over to the Air Force. And my husband was very supportive of it. He's actually in the Marine Corps.
Oh,
and
okay.
He just said, yeah, if this is what you want to do, then go for it. And I was mainly looking at all the benefits that went with it. I really liked how the Air Force definitely encourages school. They want you to work, and if you have time to go to school, but they really do encourage it. And that was kind of like my main focus with it.
So is there a little bit of rivalry at home between you and the husband?
Yes.
Which one's better?
Gosh, I can't even hide that. He's always trying to hype it up like, oh, Marine Corps is so great. Yeah. But then there are days where he has to be there at like 4 o'clock in the morning. He's like, you made the right choice.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's right. I know I did.
So you've been in, you said, a little over a year?
I've been in the Air Force for about 2 years, but I've been here for about a year and a half.
So have you taken advantage of any of that schooling so far?
I have a little bit. I have gone to the Education Center. I have made appointments. Now all that I need to do is just to figure out what college I'd like to go to and what's going to work well with my classes. I came in with an associate's degree, so now it's trying to figure out, do I want to pursue nursing? Do I maybe want to go to the dental hygiene route? Because I now work in dental, and that's kind of more of like I wouldn't say a better opportunity, but that's mainly what everyone always talks about, so it's hard to not think about it. So I guess I'm kind of toying with both of those, so it's mainly what classes are going to benefit to where I want to go in life.
We like talking about that because that's one of the free benefits that the Air Force gives you. People, you know, you go to the Air Force, but then you get all these extra opportunities to go and get more schooling and all that, and it's taken care of.
Yes.
You don't have to pay for it, which is awesome. So you've been in a couple years, you've been at Seymour Johnson. What's your favorite part about Seymour Johnson so far?
My favorite part about Seymour Johnson? You know what, as we were walking up here, we were talking about the downtown area and how nice it is. I guess compared to where we were before, where the downtown area, there really wasn't much going on.
Yeah.
You've got the courthouse, maybe a couple of like little shops, but here I was really impressed at how they revamped everything.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that they really did hype up when I first got here. They're like, you have to check out downtown. And the scene, it's really nice, it's clean, they've got good restaurants down here, so I'd say it's probably the downtown area is the best.
Yeah. Favorite restaurant downtown? No judgment, just curious. It's really so I can figure out where to go to lunch later.
We liked Torero's, but I know that there was, what was the pizza place that was down here? We really liked that one.
The Off-Center Pizza?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
Oh.
I know.
Well, though.
Jay's Burgers and Sushi's there.
Yes. Oh my God. I don't know why I didn't say that one first. When his parents came into town, we're like, we have to go here. I never thought to put an egg on a burger.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, this is the best thing in the entire world.
It's amazing.
I haven't tried the sushi part, but the burgers are.
Well, I don't eat sushi, but the burgers are great. So.
Yes.
So where are you from originally?
We're originally from Tucson, Arizona. So.
Okay.
the opposite side
Yeah.
over here.
How was that transition from Tucson to North Carolina?
It was hard at first because we had gotten married and like a week later we drove out here.
Oh, wow.
So it was a very long 32-hour drive with all of our stuff, but it was I would say it was a neat drive because we went and we saw all the desert, and then about halfway through Texas when it transitioned into the forest, I'm like, oh, this is what trees are. Okay.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's not a drive I'd ever want to do again. But
the heat's a little more humid here than in Tucson.
I thought I had prepared myself for this. I'm like, I've lived through 115-degree weather. I can do North Carolina.
Nope.
No. and then they're like, okay, so now you're gonna go to boot camp in Texas. It's kind of humid, kind of dry. I'm like, I've done it.
Yeah.
I've lived through humidity and dry heat. No, Texas
You're
heat
good.
is so different.
So, do you get to go back to Tucson much?
Sometimes it's definitely challenging. Plane tickets are expensive, but when we can, we definitely make sure to be there for like a week or two to really get to see everyone, because it's so hard, because his family wants to see us, and then my family, and then we have like some friends, so it's kind of hard to pack everything in. So when we go home, like we go home for long periods of time.
If there was someone sitting here listening and they maybe don't know what they want to do with their future, what do you think kind of has been like, if you had like the Spark Notes version of what the best part about the Air Force has been for you so far, what would you say that's been?
I would say it's definitely helped me get out of my shell. I've definitely been presented with a lot of opportunities. I've been presented with a lot of benefits. It's definitely, with what I thought I had set in mind for a career, it's transitioned it. But I also believe everything happens for a reason. Where I thought maybe nursing is where I wanted to be, but the Air Force was like, nope, we're gonna put you in dental. So maybe this is where my life is supposed to go. So it's just, right now, it's full of just opportunities and benefits I never thought I'd have before, and it's just taking advantage of everything that's being put right out in front of me and just kind of just going with it.
Personality question, what's your favorite kind of music?
I like a little bit of everything. Definitely more of like 80s style, I'd say, is like my favorite.
Everything including country music?
Yeah.
Okay. I always have to ask that question. I'm a country music fan, and people are always like, I listen to everything, but I hate country. I'm like, that's not everything.
That's not everything then.
So I have to ask, what do you see for yourself in the future? You planning on staying in a while, getting out and do the private sector thing? What's kind of the future?
I think I'm just going to do the 4 years for right now. That's what I have in mind. But something may happen in the next couple months where I'm like, you know what, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
With my husband being in the military as well, I know that that's going to be a challenge here in the future, but I knew that signing up. Mm-hmm. So we're just kind of taking it day by day. Of course, we need to figure this out soon before that contract is officially up. But for right now, I believe it's just the 4-year contract.
I got you. You can stay in North Carolina or head back to Arizona. What are you thinking?
We would like to make it back over to the West Coast just because that's where our family's at.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the plan for right now. Honestly, I'd be open to overseas too.
Okay.
So, but his job only allows him to go to a handful of spots. So
I got
we'll
you.
take what we can get.
I got you. Well, is there anything I left out you would like to talk about today?
I can't say anything else. I think we pretty much covered everything.
Pretty much did. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you so much for your service, and we'll hopefully see you again in the future.
Indeed.
Thanks for joining us right here on From the Flight Line on Wayne TV.